Happy Thursday, beautiful souls, wherever you are on this phenomenal planet. It is time for Shift Your Thinking Daily, where we transform our inner experience to a phenomenal outer experience for 10 minutes of our day. We do it together. All right, let's go ahead and take a couple deep breaths before we get into our message for today. I trust you are in the middle of your day, at the end, wherever you are. Let's just time out. You and I, baby, you and I. Let's just time out. All right, follow me. Deep breaths. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. Woo. One more. Yeah? All right, let's do it one more. Breathe in and out. Woo! All right. Welcome to Shift Your Thinking, where we transform our inner experience to a phenomenal outer experience. It's personal development every single day with yours truly. If you're new to me, I'm Lisa Portel, Super Agent. Also at lasuperagent on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. So if you want to catch more of the longer shows that I do, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel at lasuperagent. Hit the like button, favorite your favorite playlist. I have a couple playlists happening there, including the Ready, Set, Real Estate show that airs on Wednesdays. All right, and what else? Turn on the notifications. That way you don't miss any new episodes that are uploaded. I'm really liking IGTV lately. What about you? Are you using IGTV? You know, that's kind of where you should be with your posts, is on IGTV. All right, I'm in the section, by the way. If you don't know what Shift Your Thinking is, we are doing Dean Del Sesto's 200 Ways to Improve Our Lives. And you guessed it, 200 ways in this book, which means we will cover 200 ways. And the banners and the balloons should be popping off right now. Why? Because we are on episode 100. That means, yeah, we're committed. 100, and we haven't skipped a beat. So shout out to you who've been connected with me since I stumbled across it from day one. Shout out to my son, this is actually his book. He wrote his name in it. And he wrote the date, June 2017 is when I bought this book for him. Yeah, it's his book, Lathan Williams. He wrote his name in there. And I am reading through his book. So even at age, 2016, 17, he was 6 at the time. He was 5. Oh my God, he was going on 5. Yeah, he was 5. 5, and he's doing personal development. So he can look back at these episodes and kind of follow along with his reading as he becomes a young man and an adult. Okay, I'm in the section where it says I'm actually captioning episode 100 right on time. I have this thing about time. It's so funny because, I haven't been waking up early. I've just been allowing myself to sleep. I'm really resting. I'm resting a lot. I've been doing that for 2 weeks because I'm using a lot of my mental. So I'm forgiving myself, and I am not allowing myself to feel the guilt for not waking up early and not doing this and not doing that. I am harnessing my energy, as Sean Smith says, harnessing my energy. I said I'm conserving my superpowers, because I'm getting ready to do a serious liftoff, and I'm excited about that. So I'm in the section where it says, my commitment is to be late once more in my life. The author says, when I stop breathing and become the late Dean Del Sesto. No more speaking parts is what we call it, right? That's when you should be late, if you're late, because there are no more speaking parts. The author says, I'm not sure about you, but there are a few things that bother me more than someone being late. He says, as a result, I make every effort to be early to meetings by at least 5 minutes because I believe it to be impossible to be on time. That's why I call it right on time, because right on time is when you're supposed to get there. He says, think about it. Every watch is different. So to be on time would require that all have the same standard of time, which means we'd all be spotting an atomic clock. sporting an atomic clock. And we'd have to arrive at the exact second to be on time. Highly unlikely. Agreed. I agree with that. He says, so that means we're either early or late. And the time frame that reflects well on character and our outcomes is to be early and well prepared every time without fail. Yes. So press 1 if you are the person that shows up early. Are you the 5-minute? I get there 10, 15 minutes early. Press 1. If you're not that person, press 2. If you get there when you get there. It's so funny because I was reading something, and I think maybe it was in this, I'm not sure where I read it, where the people that actually don't stress about time are the most free-spirited and have the less amount of stress in their life because they're not conserving their time and energy about getting there on time. And try it. It's contrary to what he's saying, but you know, different schools of thoughts, different strokes for different folks. He says, I totally agree if it demonstrates being, priority, respecting people's time for meetings and presentations. Absolutely. Totally agree with that. But sometimes things are out of our control. Traffic, weather, all that stuff. So you can't buffer for the 20 minutes and then you become really stressed when you go, gosh, I buffered for the 20 minutes and I still ended up being late. Forgive yourself. He says, I come from the school. If I'm late to a meeting without notification in advance, it's a direct reflection of how much I care for the people and the people I am meeting with. Exactly. So I said different schools of thought. There's a school of thought that says there's, you don't respect this and that and the third, but life really happens. So I come from that school of thought where we make allowances and we say, okay, and we keep it pushing. The author says, and if I'm consistently late, which I think is very different if we're talking about being consistently late, he says, use notification as a strategy to be late all the time. I will still have to look at how much I care about those I'm always late for. Lateness, he says, shows lack of respect, and it is a leader in creating frustration and anxiety in others. Exactly, right? Silence, I realized my personal brand would silence. Since I realized my personal brand would take a hit and I'd lose credibility with others, my early percentage is 95%. And as for the other 5%, I call as far in advance as I can because my life, he says, isn't the only one that matters. Absolutely. Taking into consideration other people's schedule. And as I'm reading this, I'm thinking about it's so important for me to write things down and get them on my calendar. And if they don't get on the calendar, I've said this before, it doesn't happen because I have so many things going on. I just did my calendar for the month. I do my 30-day calendar in advance. I map out my whole schedule every single day. So I'm clear and definitive on my goals and my actions, and I'm not a leaf in the wind. I'm commanding the universe. I do teach a course about this called The Spirit of Business, where I do it with my sis, Rob Bay of Trail Alchemy. And I cover about how to go from action-oriented. How do you take prayer, meditation to commandments to the universe conspiring for you? So check out the spiritofbusinesscourse.com. Registration is open. Amazing content and downloadable workbooks and activities for you to do. So as we get ready to wrap this up, the author says, we all know there are meetings we'll never be late for and ones that rank low on the get there on time scale. But if we truly embrace the idea that our reputation, character, and influence were declining each time we were late, we design our lives for timeliness. We design our life for timeliness, not flakiness. Call to action today. Okay, so practicing. I think this is a time to step up, Lisa, and really make a point to plan ahead of time. And for me, I just was discussing that I'm a nocturnal person, so I don't want to conform to everybody getting up early at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm just going to sleep at that time because I'm most creative at that time. I'm really acting on that time. So for today, I'll be mindful and make sure I plan in advance. And if I'm late, I'll let the person know that I'm going to be late. For you, CTA, let's be mindful about planning, not using all these other things in life as an excuse, and respecting people's time and showing them that we do care and value their time as well. All right, see ya. Have a